Think your dance moves are wild? Wait until you see molecules partying in space. They float, spin, and break every rule of physics we're used to. It's like a cosmic nightclub where gravity doesn't exist, and we're all invited. Let's talk about your morning coffee, but with a space twist. On Earth, your coffee sits nicely in your cup with all the molecules pulled down by gravity. But in space, it's absolute chaos. Those coffee molecules go completely bonkers, forming perfect floating spheres that drift around like tiny disco balls. Without gravity telling them what to do, surface tension takes over. It's like the molecules are holding hands, creating a floating bubble of coffee that would drive any barista crazy. Try drinking that. Astronauts need special pouches and straws just to have their morning brew. It's the same coffee, but it's living its best zero-gravity life, breaking free from the rules that keep it grounded on Earth. Here's where things get really groovy. Space loves spheres. You know how water drops form perfect little balls on a waxy leaf? That's basically what happens to everything liquid in space, but on steroids. When there's no gravity pulling liquids down, the molecules play by their own rules. They're like tiny magnets at a party, pulling each other into the most efficient shape possible, a sphere. It's physics' favorite shape because it uses the least amount of surface area to hold the most stuff. Think of it as nature's way of being lazy but smart. Why waste energy making complicated shapes when you can just be a perfect ball? Even giant masses like planets and stars follow this rule. It's the ultimate cosmic dance move. Let me tell you about the absolute mayhem that bubbles cause in space. Imagine trying to wash your hands when the soap and water float away as perfect spheres, breaking into smaller bubbles that scatter everywhere like a game of cosmic pinball. Astronauts have to chase these water balls around the spacecraft. It's basically an unwanted game of 3D ping pong. These bubbles don't pop like they do on Earth. They merge into bigger spheres or split into tiny floating menaces. And here's the really wild part. These water bubbles can seriously mess with equipment. They can sneak into electronics, float into air vents, or even end up as an unwanted splash in someone's sleeping bag. That's why astronauts have special vacuum-like tools to catch these rebellious water spheres. Let's crash this molecular party and see how these tiny dancers connect in space. On Earth, molecules follow strict rules, like teenagers at a chaperoned dance. But in zero gravity, they're free to mingle however they want. The molecules that usually sink or float based on their weight now groove together in totally new patterns. Heavy and light molecules mix it up like they're at the world's most inclusive dance party. They create these amazing structures we never see on Earth. Imagine a conga line that goes in every direction at once. And the coolest part? These weird molecular meetups help us create new materials that could revolutionize everything from medicine to rocket fuel. Scientists are like the DJs of this cosmic club, mixing up molecules in ways that would be impossible back home. Let's sneak into the space station's kitchen. It's pure comedy gold up there. Imagine trying to make a sandwich when your bread floats away and your peanut butter blob decides to play hide and seek. Crumbs? They're like tiny missiles zooming around the cabin. You can't just crack an egg unless you want a yellow sphere chasing you around the station. Even boiling water is a mind-bender because hot water doesn't rise and cold water doesn't sink. The bubbles get stuck in the middle of the liquid, creating this weird, cloudy blob that looks more like a lava lamp than your dinner prep. That's why astronauts mostly eat pre-packaged meals, though some brave souls have attempted to make space tacos. Just don't ask about the time someone tried to sprinkle salt. That's still a legendary story at NASA. Get ready for the weirdest light show you've ever seen. Fire in space is nothing like the flames you know from Earth. Instead of that familiar teardrop shape pointing up, space flames form perfect spheres of blue fire. They're like tiny floating orbs of pure magic. Without gravity pulling hot air up, the flame spreads evenly in every direction, creating this eerie ball of light. And here's the scary part. You might not even see these flames coming. Space fire can burn way cooler and with almost no color, making it super sneaky. It's like a ninja flame doing its own special dance in zero gravity. This is why fire safety in space is next level serious. You can't just blow out a birthday candle when it's floating around as a sphere. Ready to see some crystals bust out their best moves? In space, crystals form in ways that would make any earthbound crystal jealous. Without gravity messing up their groove, they grow bigger, cleaner, and more perfect than anything we can make down here. Think of it like building with Lego blocks. On Earth, it's like trying to build while someone keeps shaking the table. But in space, those molecular building blocks line up perfectly, creating these massive, flawless structures that look like they're straight out of Superman's Fortress of Solitude. Scientists are using this to make better computer chips, medical devices, and even new materials we've never seen before. It's like giving crystals their own zero-gravity dance floor where they can really show off their moves. Let's turn up the volume on something totally mind-bending: sound waves in space. When there's no gravity pulling molecules down, sound travels through materials like it's taking a crazy detour through a funhouse. Those sound waves bounce around in floating liquids and gases in completely unpredictable patterns. It's like trying to play music through a lava lamp that's gone rogue. Scientists have found that sound can create these amazing 3D patterns in floating water drops. Imagine a tiny disco ball made entirely of vibrating liquid. And get this, without gravity messing things up, we can hear frequencies that would be impossible to detect on Earth. It's opened up a whole new world of acoustic experiments that could revolutionize everything from speakers to medical ultrasound. When gravity takes a break, magnetic fields step up as the bouncers of this cosmic club. Without Earth's gravitational pull hogging the spotlight, magnetic forces show off their true strength. They turn liquid metals into floating, shape-shifting dancers that twist and morph like something from a sci-fi movie. Drop a magnet near some floating iron filings in space and bam, you've got yourself a magnetic mosh pit. The particles line up in these wild, spiky patterns that would make any punk rocker jealous. Scientists are using these magnetic field parties to create new materials, improve space navigation, and even design better spacecraft shielding. It's like watching invisible hands sculpt metal in mid-air. Here's the coolest part about all these floating molecule shenanigans. They're not just space party tricks. Back on Earth, we're taking notes and turning these cosmic experiments into game-changing innovations. Remember those perfect crystals growing in zero-G? They've helped us design better fiber optics for faster internet and create new medicines that work better than ever. Those weird floating flames? They've revolutionized how we design fire safety systems. Even those annoying floating water bubbles have taught us new tricks about surface tension that we're using to make better water-resistant materials. It's like having a high-tech laboratory where gravity can't crash the party, and every experiment brings us closer to the next big breakthrough. Thanks for joining our zero-gravity party of molecules. Who knew physics could be this fun? If you enjoyed this cosmic dance, smash that like button, subscribe for more mind-bending science, and share with your friends. Let's keep this space party going.